Hey everyone, welcome to Azuria Plays. After a bit of a hiatus, we're back to start off 2021 with a bang, and hopefully some more regular uploads. In this video, we're going to be battling against some legendary Pokemon using the Trick or Treat team that featured my Halloween special. Now ideally, this video would have been launched just after Halloween, but I'm sure you all know that life is a habit of getting in the way, so here we are. If you haven't watched the previous Trick or Treat video, or just want to get a more detailed recap of the team, the link to the video is in the description below, so feel free to go check it out. But for those of you who just want a quick rundown, the team consists of 3 Treat Pokemon, which are Flapple, Alcremie and Vanilluxe, and 3 Trick Pokemon, which are Mimikyu, Stunfisk and Zoroark. These are hardly the strongest of Pokemon, but it's time to find out how well they can cope against their legendary brethren. First of all, we have a battle against Pokemon trainer James, who starts things off with the also lovable Landorus and Rayquaza. As we start off with Mimikyu and Alcremie, and this definitely seems like a fair matchup. Rayquaza starts things off with a Protect, as Mimikyu gets to work with a Will-O-Wisp to cripple Landorus before it can do too much damage to our team. Thanks to Mimikyu's Burny intervention, the following Earthquake does very little damage to Alcremie, while Mimikyu's Disguise takes the hit for her. Her red card then activates, sending Landorus back to its trainer's side, but unfortunately, Kyogre enters the fray instead. I wouldn't exactly call that a win, but guess we'll work with it. Alcremie's Dazzling Gleam does a little more than tickle Kyogre, as her leftovers restore some of her lost health. Knowing that his Mighty Dragon is at a severe disadvantage to our living cream, James recalls Rayquaza and sends out Tapu Koko instead, who tanks the incoming play rough with relative ease. Kyogre then retaliates with an Origin Pulse that devastates Mimikyu's HP, while Alcremie skillfully dodges the blow before firing off a Sacred Fire at Kyogre. Now this might seem like a strange move considering the Sea Basin Pokemon resist the damage, but the special attack drop is what we're really after. On the following turn, Mimikyu launches a Shadow Sneak to strip away some health from Tapu Koko before a powerful Volt Switch sends her packing, while allowing James to swap in his Xerneas. Alcremie then tanks an Origin Pulse, bringing her into the yellow, before she counters with a Dazzling Gleam, taking both her foes down to just above half. Her leftovers then work their magic, bringing her back up into the green, as Vanilluxe joins the fray. I don't know what our opponent was planning here, but Kyogre uses Protect, which is excellent news for us, as a Max Steel Spike from Vanilluxe obliterates Xerneas before it can boost its stats with Geomancy, netting your team a nice little defense boost in the process. Alcremie then uses Recover to bring herself back to full HP and ready to battle whatever James is planning to throw our way. And of course it's an Incineroar. Why would it be anything else? Anticipating a Max Flare, we opt for a Max Guard to protect ourselves, as Origin Pulse deals a significant amount of damage to Alcremie, while Vanilluxe remains unharmed. Dazzling Gleam then chips away some of the opponent's HP as incoming Max Flare is blocked by Max Guard. On the following turn, a Max Steel Spike does an underwhelming amount of damage to Incineroar, but it nets another defense boost, which will help the longevity of our team, while an Origin Pulse deals far less damage now that the rain has gone. Alcremie then uses Recover again to bring her back to max health after the leftover recovery, while Vanilluxe manages to survive the Max Flare with ease. However, her Weak Armor ability activates, increasing her speed at the cost of defense. With her Dynamax now finished, we can dish out some damage to Kyogre with Freeze Dry, but unfortunately, our opponent switches out for Tapu Koko, but regardless, our Icy Blast connects and takes out the Island Guardian with ease. At least we KO'd something. The following Dazzling Gleam deals a little damage to Incineroar as a Max Flare connects with poor Vanilluxe, taking her out of action. At this point we're holding our own relatively well, and the match is tied with 2 fainted Pokemon apiece, so we still have a chance to win. We send out Zoroark, disguised as Flapple, while James sends out his Landorus once more. When I saw Landorus come back out, I should have predicted the Protect Earthquake combo, but unfortunately, I tried to strike down Incineroar with a Focus Blast, which failed as Earthquake deals a decent amount of damage to Zoroark, but Alcremie shrugs off the blow before countering with a dazzling gleam. Pokemon Trainer James swaps out Incineroar for Rayquaza as we launch a Focus Blast at that slot, dealing only little damage as the blow is resisted. This allows Landers to counter with a Hammer Arm, but our trusty Shadow Wolf hangs on with 3 HP, allowing him to battle on. Alcremie's Dazzling Gleam puts a decent dent in Rayquaza's HP, while taking Landers dangerously low. But unfortunately, its Citrus Berry kicks in, bringing it back to around half health. Our opponent then uses Protect on Rayquaza once again, as our Focus Blast connects with Landorus, bringing his HP into a region in which the following Dazzling Gleam is more than enough to finish him off, giving us the lead. Kyogre rejoins the battle, setting the rain back up as we win for the kill. Unfortunately, our foe has other ideas, as Rayquaza uses extreme speed to take down Zoroark before he even gets a chance to launch an attack of his own. An Origin Pulse then leaves Alcremie hovering around half HP as she fires off another Dazzling Gleam to finish off the Sky High Pokemon while leaving Kyogre in the red. We then send out our Falafel as Incineroar rejoins the fight. This is our last chance to finish this off. Incineroar goes for Protect, but we aren't interested in him anyway. Falafel launches a Grav Apple at Kyogre that will decimate the Sea Basin's Pokemon, leaving a clear path to victory. Unless we miss. This is why I hate Hustle as an ability. The increased attack power is nice, but the loss in accuracy is just brutal. Thanks to this, Kyogre is able to fire off an Ice Beam that takes out Flapple in a single stroke. Well, that was unfortunate. At least Alcremie get a chance to recover to bring her health back up to full. Sunfish joins the battle, and I immediately go for a Protect as incoming Origin Pulse takes Alcremie back below half health. Alcremie musters all her strength to fire off a final Dazzling Gleam that blinds both foes with its brilliance. Kyogre's HP slowly starts to decrease, inching down closer and closer to that magic 0. But of course it stops at what must be about 1 HP. Does Arceus have no mercy? Incineroar chips away enough of Alcremie's health to allow the following Origin Pulse to finally remove her from the field, while leaving Stunfisk within easy KO range for Incineroar to finish up. Well, that was frustrating. If Grav Apple had hit, that match was ours, and if that Dazzling Gleam at the end had managed to take down Kyogre, we could probably have taken down Incineroar also. But what can you do? I would say I still managed to do pretty well here considering my team was at a significant disadvantage, and I'm also proud of Alcremie for staying strong in the face of danger and not leaving the field once during the entire match. With our heads held high, we move on to the next battle, where we'll be facing off against Tom, who once again is a team stacked with legendary beasts. He starts off by sending out Diancie and Volcanion, as we start off with Mimikyu and Vanilluxe. Mimikyu starts things off with a Dark Pulse that chips away just under half of Volcanion's health, and Vanilluxe destroys Diancie with a Flash Cannon, removing her foe in a single William strike. After that last battle, Arceus decided to throw us a bone as Volcanion flinches from the force of Mimikyu's blow. Magearna is summoned forth, and I know how deadly this thing can be, so I need to come up with a plan to stop it from getting too many boosts with Soul Heart. Tom Dynamaxes Volcanion, as a Dark Pulse from Mimikyu brings him down into the red, before Vanilluxe's Icy Wind chips away some more HP from both her foes while reducing their speed. Magearna then fires off a Flash Cannon, hoping for a super effective hit on Mimikyu, but the illusion breaks, revealing Zoroark, who hangs on in red health. Volcanion follows up with a Max Flare, which crashes into Vanilluxe and sets up the sun, but her Focus Sash allows her to hang in there with 1 HP. Zoroark wastes no time in taking down Volcanion with another Dark Pulse, removing the Dynamax threat from the field with ease. This comes at the price of a Soul Heart boost for Magearna, which is less than ideal. Vanilluxe fires off another Flash Cannon, but Magearna shrugs off the blow, sending poor Zoroark packing with an Aura Sphere, netting another boost via Soul Heart. The MVP of the last match enters the field as Tom sends out Giratina. Now the fun begins. I immediately call for a Dynamax of Alcremie, allowing her to transcend into a glorious living cake with the power to smite my foes. Vanillux sets the stage with an icy wind, slowing down both opponents, before Alcremie fires off a max flare that incinerates Magearna before she can get any more soul harvests, while Giratina uses Phantom Force to disappear from the fight and prepares to strike on the following turn. Opponent sends out a Dialga to replace his fallen champion, and I call Vanillux back to her Pokeball so that she may live to fight another day. Stunfisk joins the battle in her place, and I was worried that Dialga would launch a powerful steel move to try and smite Alcremie. However, the Aura Sphere was a nice surprise. A G-Max finale stripped the time Pokemon of over half his health while restoring Alcremie back to full. The incoming Phantom Force deals a surprising amount of damage to Stunfisk as Giratina returns to the field once more. I expected my opponent to double down on Alcremie as she is the biggest threat, so I recall Stunfisk and send out Vanillux, hoping to restore some of her missing HP with G-Max finale. But Dialga had other ideas, as a Roar of Time robs Vanillux of whatever time she had left. Alcremie, however, makes short work of Dialga with another G-Max finale, avenging her fallen comrade in arms, before Giratina performs another disappearing act. Tom sends out his Xerneas as Stunfisk takes to the stadium once more. Xerneas fires off a Focus Blast rather than going for a Geomancy, which thankfully misses its mark. Alcremie, now regular sized, uses Mystical Fire to drop Xerneas' special attack stat while dealing a smidge of damage. Phantom Force takes Alcremie down below half health, allowing Stunfisk to cripple Xerneas with a Thunder Wave, robbing her foe of his speed advantage. On the next turn, Dazzling Gleam mops up Giratina, while weakening Xerneas, who succumbs to the paralysis, preventing them from attacking. Stunfisk then fires off a Rock Slide, taking the Majestic Deer down below half, as another Mystical Fire robs Xerneas of most of its remaining health, as well as further crippling its special attack stat. Stunfisk's Protect stopped any damage from the incoming Focus Blast, which then allowed Alcremie to fire off one more Fiery Blast to finish off the battle and hand us a win against this team of legends. I think the lucky flinch we got at the start of the battle played an important role in that fight, but once again, Alcremie was for sure the star player. Using teams like this is really helping me to appreciate more Pokemon than I would usually just have written off before. But it's also making me write off Pokemon that I thought might be cool. And yes, I'm looking at you lot. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these legendary brawls, and I hope you're excited for more regular uploads to continue next week, when we'll be diving back in to the Egglocke Challenge series with episode 9. So if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, you've got a week to catch up. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.